What's up, guys? SARGEPARTY here, back with another video. So I was kind of debating what I wanted to do next. I knew I wanted to do a hardware review, and I thought I'd talk about an RDA that basically I've been using the most as of late. We're going to be talking about the Cabron RDA. Now, this RDA is made by a company called Compvape. So, Compvape is a company out of the greater Chicago area, and they've been around the industry since 2010, and they have some really known people in the vape community that are involved with their company. One of the biggest being Twisted Messes. And if you don't know who Twisted Messes is, I will put a link in the description to his YouTube channel. He does some ridiculously cool, awesome RDA coil builds. Now, I haven't heard a whole lot of the other reviewers talk about this, but El Cabron literally means the bastard. And this thing is a bad one. And without further ado, let's just go ahead, let's dive down, take a look at it, then we'll pop back up. I'll kind of go over what I really personally like about it, what I may not like about it, where you can get it, and we will go from there. So let's go ahead and dive right down. Alright guys, so here we are up close and personal with the El Cabron RDA. Right off the bat, really cool box. Got the little reflecty deals on there. You have your El Cabron logo as well as the Compvape logo in the top left corner. Compvape designed in the USA. Cool little box. Open the box up. And right off the bat, you see some extra parts. You have some extra O-rings. You have a copper 510 pin as well as a copper center post. You have 3 extra peak insulators as well as 3 extra hex or grub style post screws. Under the parts, you have your RDA itself. You have a standard size stainless steel drip tip. This also has a Delrin adapter so that you're able to use basically any drip tip that you might have already. You have your stainless steel, what they refer to as the competition size. It's a super wide bore drip tip with heatsink fins and obviously threads along the bottom. And then of course you have the RDA itself. So some quick specs on this RDA. Obviously it's a 22mm RDA. You have some really beautiful deep laser engraving here with the El Cabron logo. At the top right now, I am running the 3rd drip tip that comes with this RDA. It is the medium-sized wide bore Delrin drip tip. This drip tip unscrews right out and then pops right out of that heatsink fin, and that's where you're able to use the Delrin adapter and whatever drip tip you want to put within that Delrin adapter. But I've basically just been running this drip tip for the time being. Along the side, this is where you have your AVC air control ring. Fits right on there, and you are able to control your airflow for either a single coil, dual coil, or quad coil. Of course, you have your heatsink here at the top and the heatsink at the bottom. This comes right off. At the bottom, you have the Compvape logo as well as your serial number. In this case, mine is 1546. The 510 pin here, guys, is silver-plated lead-free brass. Let's look at the deck a little bit closer. Alright guys, so here you have the deck for the El Cabrón. You have 7mm deep juice well, super deep. You have your silver plated lead free brass center post to match the 510 pin at the bottom. And remember, both the center post and the 510 pin are interchangeable with the copper ones that come with the extra parts. Basically your classic 3-post design. Posts are milled into the deck. You have your peak insulator at the bottom of the center post, 3mm wide post holes, along with your hex or grub screws, whatever you want to call them, at the top, which you also get 3 extra of those in your parts. Just very well done, guys. Beautifully machined. Very, very, very cool looking, innovative RDA from the deck perspective, as well as the other parts of the RDA itself. So just a very well done RDA, guys. A lot of innovation and attention to detail went into this RDA. Let's pop back up. Let's talk a little bit more about it. I'll tell you where you can get it, what I think a little bit more in depth about it, and we will of course give her a vape. Alright guys, so that is the El Cabrón. Let's talk about what I like about it. So I really like the fact that you get that bag of parts. A lot of times with RDAs, you don't get a whole lot of extra goodies, and you typically need to go and order extra things. You might burn out your insulator, melt it, might have to order a new one. You might lose a grub screw, not have any extras. I don't know, you might not even like the center post that comes with it. And with this RDA, you have all those other options. You have those extra parts. Likely never have to buy another pack of parts for this RDA. I think that's awesome. Now, the other thing I really like about it, and this is probably the thing I like the most about this RDA, is the airflow. Now, you guys can't really see this, but with this airflow in particular, it's slightly angled just like that. So when you take this top off and you drip right down onto your coils and onto your cotton, which is how I do it, I just drip right through there. You couldn't drip out of these holes if you wanted to. There's no spit back. You're not getting juice dripping out of these holes. The way that they're just such slightly angled, it just takes the juice and it puts it right down into the bottom middle of that coil, which I love that. Usually when you have really good size holes like this, you definitely end up having a problem with spit back, with juice leaking out of that airflow hole. And with this RDA, you just don't run into that. I love the fact that it's made in the good old US of A. I love the deep juice well in this RDA. You end up dripping just way less with this thing, and I've definitely noticed that. The machining on this RDA is top notch. It's very, very nicely done. I love the silver plated lead-free brass center post as well as the 510 pin. I feel like the conductivity with that is just great, bar none to any other RDA that I've used up until this point. And that's a pretty big compliment because I've tried quite a bit of RDAs even if I don't own them myself. Now, as far as clouds, this is labeled by Compvape as a competition RDA that you can use every day. It literally says that on their site, and that's a very, very fair assessment. I use this RDA practically every single day, and if I really wanted to enter a cloud competition, I could use this RDA as well. The airflow itself is just perfect. It's not too airy, not too restricted, and it's just perfect for blowing clouds. But the surprising thing about this RDA is the flavor's actually pretty good. Now obviously this isn't just a flavor chasing RDA. It's not geared towards that. It's not supposed to be a flavor chaser RDA. But you do get an excellent flavor from this RDA. I would probably give it like probably a B+, A-, 8 out of 10. It's actually really good flavor for an RDA that's geared to be a cloud chaser RDA. Another plus with this RDA, in my opinion, is the price. It's $60. For any RDA of this caliber, under $100, I feel like is a pretty good deal. Now, I understand, $60 is $60. But for me personally, as little as I buy hardware, such as mods or RDAs or tanks, it's actually a pretty good deal. With the El Cabron, you get an RDA for $60 that performs like an RDA that retails at $100 or more. So for me personally, it was worth every penny, and I'm happy I made the purchase. Now some of you are thinking, Sarge, pick something you don't like about it. Pick a con. Find something that you don't like about this RDA. There's no way it can be perfect. And you're right. I feel like with most things in vaping, whether it be e-juice, whether it be a mod, whether it be an RDA or a tank, there's going to be one or two things about it that you felt like they could improve on, you don't like very much. Now, with this particular con, if you will, it's not necessarily something that really bothers me, but it's more something that I feel like that they could have improved on a little bit. And here's what it is. The individual parts of this RDA, when all broken up, taken piece by piece, they're kind of tinny. They're kind of thin. And I'm not going to say cheap, because they're not cheap. They're just a little bit lacking of that thick, nice stainless steel feel. Now, it's not a big deal. It doesn't bother me that much. And I don't see it as being a major con. But if I'm going to be kind of, like I said, a little bit picky, a little bit judgmental, that would be the one thing about this RDA that maybe Compvape could have done a little bit better. But again, not a big deal. So, where you can get it. I'll put a link in the description of some of the sites that you can get it. The way that I went about it is I went to Compvape's site and they listed all of the authorized retailers, which I love that. I love whenever a company gives you all of the legit sites that you can get it from. That way you know you're getting the authentic thing straight from the manufacturer themselves' mouth. That's nice. I actually received mine from Showdown Vapor Company, and the dude that I bought mine from, his name is Justin Jacobson. Big shout out, Justin. I really appreciate it, man. I actually met him in a Hexome forum and he hooked me up, and so shout out to you, Justin. Shout out to Showdown Vapor Company. Alright guys, so in conclusion, that is the El Cabron RDA. Very solid RDA, guys. Really good price, but don't take my word for it. Do your research. Go read some reviews, watch some YouTube videos. Be educated before you make a purchase of any size. It doesn't matter whether it's $10 or $1,000. Make sure that you have an idea of what kind of product you're getting before you even get it into your hands. And just don't take my word for it alone. But I will put some links in the description of where you can read some more information about it, and also where you can purchase the RDA if you decide that's what you want to do. Also guys, if you're interested in Compvape or you like Twisted Messes, well, they have a new Twisted Messes RDA that just hit the market. Looks really cool. I haven't had an opportunity to try it. I hope I do. But again, that will be at compvape.com. As always guys, thank you for watching the videos. Peace out. Keep your cotton wet. Sarge Party.